Mission accomplished.
Seat as though I was like, pleasure to meet you, Your Majesty. Like, was that okay?
But wait, there's more.
The conversation of he won't be given security, he's not going to be given a title. And also concerns and conversations about how dark his skin might be when he's born.
Hold up.
Hold up.
There's
Stop
several
right now.
there's several conversations.
There's a
about
conversation with you
it. With Harry
about how dark your baby is going to be?
potentially and what that would mean or look like.
Oprah, they're so racist. That's not racist. Because even black people want to know. How brown the baby gonna be?
That conversation I'm never going to share.
Ooh, this is uncomfortable.
We'll talk when we get home.
Hello, my fellow queens. Welcome to our revenge reading. So glad to have you here. We are doing chapter 37 today. I don't know if we're going to get through the whole thing. I think this may have been a longer one. I thought the last one was, and it wasn't. Yeah, this is a longer one. So we'll do part of it today for about an hour. This is a little appetizer to the Sister Wives show for anybody who watches both. So we'll do this until 9:30, and then I'll get off, refresh my drink, go to the bathroom, and then we'll watch on the other channel, Sister Wives Live, if you're in the SOS exclusive. Okay. Getting it all in on a Sunday night. Let me see who's here, and then we'll start reading. The name of this chapter, if I didn't tell you, is Netflix. So it's going to start good. All right, Michelle's here. Hi, Michelle. Welcome. And Meg, good to see you too. Let's see. Nadine is here. Hi, Nadine. Good to see you. Meg, Michelle, Nadine. Ashley's here. Hi, Ashley. Good to see you. Yes, a break from politics. And the WC just agree with me. Just stay off social media. I watch Sister Wives stuff. I watch movies and television shows, and I watch investing and like stock stuff. It's sort of like my side hobby. It's about it because I am not interested in politics. I'm not interested in anything that makes me anxious. I just feel like the world is too anxious as it is. And there's too much hate and negativity in that. I don't need to feed into it by watching stuff, whether I agree or disagree. Because even if it's stuff you agree with, it gets you riled up. Like, why doesn't everybody think this way? And if it's stuff you disagree with, then you get riled up for that. Like, there's no win. There's no win in it. So I just I play Switzerland when it comes to politics. Okay. I don't know if it's going to work for me, but it's what I'm choosing to do. Put your head in the sand. I'll see how it works. All right. Right. I follow a bit, but I don't follow Meg. She's insufferable. Yes. And because I've been reading this book, my algorithm now, because I looked up some of these clips and all that to create the intro video and the outro video, which I couldn't get uploaded before it was time to start. That's why I was a minute or two late. I'm like, I have to just start. Because when I upload it, it instantly starts it. I learned that in the past when the intro was going, then all of a sudden the outro started in the middle of the intro. So I will upload it at the very end if I remember for you all. So yeah, I'll get that out for you. I think there was something else I was going to say, but I don't recall. But let's jump into Netflix because we're not going to be able to get through the whole chapter anyway. We'll see how much. I'm very interested to see how much dirt he was able to dig up on this topic. Okay. Netflix. The scene was memorable. Seated in front of a giant screen at the sprawling Santa Monica hacienda of Tom Barrack, a Trump-supporting billionaire, Meghan and Harry were watching the latest series of The Crown. Introduced to Barack by Oprah Winfrey, the Sussexes had driven to the 1,200-acre mountain ranch near Santa Barbara to meet the controversial father of 6 who controlled a multi-billion-dollar property empire linked to Arab investors. Boy, isn't that topical? I just saw a thumbnail. I didn't click on it, so I didn't watch it, but I just saw a thumbnail today about how Meghan is trying to get in with the Arab billionaire. It's exactly what this introductory paragraph is saying. I mean, it's not saying that she's trying to but she's obviously trying to hobnob with them and become friends with them. Now it's saying she's trying to, like, on the down low behind Harry's back, become friendly with one. She's always trying to work her way up. Okay. Interesting that they were watching the series. At this billionaire's house. I wonder why. Are they all like tied in with? Okay, well, we'll continue on. I'm sorry. I do this all the time, don't I? I stop and I ask questions and it usually answers them a paragraph or two later. Let's go on. On the eve, wait, you know what? I'm going to move my laptop and my books so I can not look so far down. Prop this up a little bit. There we go. There we go. On the eve of their host becoming embroiled in a criminal prosecution. Oh, wait a second. Can I just pause for a second? This guy is a big Trump-supporting billionaire? I thought Harry and Meghan were very left. Okay, we're not going to get into politics. That's what they've been getting in trouble for, though, is talking about politics. So this is interesting. I guess if you have money, it doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. If you're Harry and Meghan. On the eve of their host becoming embroiled in a criminal prosecution, Harry indiscriminately commented during the show on the fictionalized version of his grandparents' reign and his parents' hostile relationship. Oh, it's much worse than that, he repeatedly pronounced. Oh. Is he scolding the network for being too kind? Interesting. Living among Hollywood celebrities had undermined Harry's understanding of discretion and loyalty to his family. His remarks reflected the Sussexes' mission. First, to extract revenge against the royal family, and second, to fashion their brand. To stay in the spotlight and earn millions of dollars, the Sussexes sought maximum publicity. The normal understanding of privacy was discarded. That's what they complained about. That's what their reason they said they wanted to leave was they couldn't get any privacy over there, and it was different in America. And then they just put themselves out there. It's interesting, isn't it? Soon after their visit to the Barracks, Harry was driving. Wait. Oh, that's their last name. Oh, Barack is the last. For some reason, I'm thinking Barack Obama was involved in this too. You know why? Because it says Barack by Oprah. So it's Barack and then there was an O word. My brain just went Barack Obama because I saw Oprah Winfrey and I was just figuring they're all friends. So obviously that's who's going to be there. But no, okay. Barack was the name of the billionaire. And he was a friend of Oprah's. I don't know, was Oprah there? Didn't say she was there. Just said they went to this mansion, this Arab investor mansion. They just went to this guy's mansion and he's a huge Trump supporter. Okay, not politics. I just said not politics. It's just it goes against her brand. Okay. Living among Hollywood celebrities had undermined Harry's understanding of discretion and loyalty to his family. His remarks reflected the Sussex's mission. We read this. First, to extract revenge on the royal family, and then to fashion their brand. Stay in the spotlight and earn millions of dollars. They had wanted maximum publicity. Throwing out and discarding their understanding of privacy. Okay, soon after their visit to the Baracks, Harry was driving around Los Angeles on an open-top bus with James Corden and a camera crew. The British star of the play One Man, Two Governors was filmed serving tea and biscuits to the prince, who in turn suckled up to the comedian's pranks and flattery. The interview, Corden's producer would reveal, was a result of Harry pestering the star to appear on his show. Interesting. Once again, this time for the camera, Harry repeated his praise. I'm going to stop for a second and say hi to people. I saw Michelle. Michelle, I saw it showed up as a blue box and you sent a super chat. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. I had to stop and look at it because every now and then people will send super chats like when my sound is off just to get my attention. Because I'll have in all caps, no sound, we can't hear you. And I'm just going on and talking or reading or whatever on the channel. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, someone said a super chat. No sound. Okay. Continuing on. Where was I? Okay. Harry wanted to appear on Corden's show. And so he did. Once again, this time for the camera, Harry repeated his praise for the Netflix series. Despite The Crown being branded a hatchet job on his parents, Harry told Corden with self-pity, I am way more comfortable with The Crown than I am in seeing the stories written about my family or my wife or myself. He added, of course, it's not strictly, what's the difference? One's actually acted out. That's kind of worse. Because I thought they had a lot of issues with The Crown. Interesting. Okay, sorry. He added, of course, it's not strictly accurate, but loosely gives you a rough idea about that lifestyle, the pressures of putting duty and service above family and everything else, and what can come from that. Few forgot that Harry was contracted to Netflix. Harry was untroubled that the Corden interview was broadcast in February of 2021 on the same night as Prince Philip spent his 13th day in the hospital, and the Queen urged Britons on television to be vaccinated against COVID. In his bid for publicity, Harry appeared to ignore his grandparents' grief. Breaking custom, he also disclosed that the Queen gave Archie a waffle maker for Christmas. I am actually dying for a pee. Harry was filmed telling the owners of the Bel Air house they agreed he could use their bathroom. A lot of details here. Self-humiliation had become an occasional essential ingredient in the Sussexes' search for publicity. Even Archwell's first podcast for Spotify relied on coaxing 19-month-old Archie to appear. You can speak into it, Harry urged his son, pointing at the microphone. Archie, is this fun? Asked Meghan, a mite desperately. Fun, Archie replied. After me, ready? Harry commanded his son. Say, Happy New Year, prompting nervous laughter from the couple. The heart of their Spotify podcast featured 13, there were 13 episodes of that? 13 guests invited by Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, and Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. Duchess of Sussex. It's really hard to say. To speak about the power of connection. Boring. The radio station was built for people to, quote, share their vulnerabilities within that safe space. And of course it did. That sounds like a bunch of mumbo jumbo stuff that Meghan would say. I bet she came up with that tagline on her own. It's going to be about sharing your vulnerabilities in a safe space. Safe space. Our narcissists love that word. Among the helpless was Elton John. He chose to confess that he was a recovering alcoholic who had survived the COVID lockdown thanks to Zoom. More confessions flowed. To capture public attention, the Sussexes relied on self-exposure, including themselves. Meghan's pregnancy featured as a celebration of her importance. Lots of women do it, Meghan. Moving on. Meeson Harringen, a Nigerian-born photographer, educated at Bradfield, a minor English public school, was known for his support of the Black Lives Matter movement, was hired for the shoot. The result was spectacular. Harriman's black and white portrait showed Meghan lying on the ground under a willow tree with her head on Harry's lap. Her right arm was resting on the baby bump, guaranteed to appear on front pages across the world. Harriman shot the photo of the Free Spirits with an iPad from London. Huh? How do you do that? Anyway. With the tree of life behind them, he wrote, and the garden representing fertility, life, and moving forward, they didn't need any direction because they are, and always have been, waltzing through life together as absolute soulmates. The willow tree, it later transpired, was superimposed onto the photograph by Harriman in London. Soon after the shoot, Harriman was appointed the chairman of London's South Bank Centre, one of the city's largest arts and music complexes. Publicity-shy woman tells 7.67 billion people, I'm pregnant, was the Daily Star's headline over the photograph. The newspaper echoed Piers Morgan's quip, quote, they quit the country for privacy, and they have hardly shut up since. It's all complete hogwash, end quote. Meghan's supporters agreed with her own definition of privacy. Quote, I think everyone has the basic right to privacy. We're not talking about anything that anybody else wouldn't expect. Give me $1 million and then you get to invade my privacy. Pay me all this money to do these public appearances, and then you have the right to invade my privacy. That's just the way it works. They want all the money, and then they want to be given their privacy. But I don't even know if they want their privacy. I think that's just part of the whole victim complex. Because I don't know about Harry, but I know Meghan loves the attention. Okay, moving on. I think everyone has the basic right to privacy. We are not talking about anything that anybody else wouldn't expect. It's about boundaries, respect. I mean, my God, these are the exact words that Cody Brown says. Meghan represented a powerful strand of opinion among influencers. The Sussexes' publicity offensive flummoxed the Queen's private secretary, Edward Young, and his staff. Young faced a popular couple promoting themselves at the palace's expense. 1 year after Sandringham, the Sussexes had sealed their breakaway, including, officials suspected, an interview with Oprah Winfrey. Never before in the modern era had the monarchy been challenged in quite this way. Instead of summoning expert strategists to plan a counterattack and undermine the Californians, Young panicked. The conundrum Young faced was complicated. Meghan's case against the Mail on Sunday was progressing through the courts, and the palace staff who complained about Meghan's alleged bullying were dissatisfied with their grievances having been buried. For her part, during 2020, Meghan had good reason to believe that Jason Knopf's memorandum describing the allegations of her bullying had been forgotten. Similarly, she assumed that Knopf would not expose the inaccuracy of her own high court statement about the letter to her father and her denial of any assistance to the authors of Finding Freedom. Timid palace officials would resist open warfare. Her gamble appeared to pay off. David Engel, Jason Knopf's solicitor, had not been overly helpful to the Mail on Sunday. He explained that the Palace Four knew how the letter was created, but gave no hint about their evidence. The newspaper's editor was disappointed. Much more surprising was Judge Warby's conclusion. Skeptical that the newspaper could produce evidence contradicting Meghan, Warby decided that there was no need for a trial. Meghan would be handed victory without submitting to cross-examination. She's so lucky. It's not right. The judge refused to hear the evidence of the four palace employees. He decided that most of the evidence submitted by the newspaper in its defense, including Meghan's text messages, was irrelevant. The newspaper, he said, had refused to see the light. Their defense, he declared, had been reduced to speculative hypothesis founded on hearsay from an unknown source, which lacks corroboration, and is contradicted by both key individuals. Dramatically, Warby gave a summary judgment in Meghan's favor. The newspaper, he ruled, had breached their copyright and privacy. In his judgment, Warby deemed the newspaper's publication of the excerpts of the letter as manifestly excessive and therefore unlawful. Being royal did not make one public property. Her letter, ruled Warby, was from a distressed daughter and private. There was no public interest in Meghan's, those in quotes, in Meghan's relationship with her father being exposed, nor did Thomas Markle have a right to challenge People magazine's defamation of himself. Her relationship with the authors of Finding Freedom was equally irrelevant. Meghan's credibility and reputation was protected from any challenge by the judge. Meghan Schillings had won an outright victory. The newspaper and the media industry were baffled by Warby's decision. To deny a trial offended the meaning of justice. No one could explain the judge's about turn. Representing the shock across the media, Camilla Long described Warby's judgment as, quote, a dream decision for the powerful wishing to escape scrutiny. The public who allowed Harry and Meghan to use a British bank to make money were denied the truth by this judge, end quote. Unsurprisingly, Meghan disagreed. We have all won, Meghan said in a statement. You cannot take someone's privacy and exploit it, she added. Quote, I share the victory with each of you because we all deserve justice and the truth, and we all deserve better, end quote. Her treatment of the media, she said, was illegal and dehumanizing? How is it dehumanizing? The public, she insisted, just because you say it doesn't make it true. The public, she insisted, was entitled to reliable, fact-checked, high-quality news. On the 16th of February, buoyed by the victory, Meghan sat, that's buoyed, not booed, just in case I said it incorrectly. Meghan sat at a Santa Barbara garden ready for an interview with Oprah Winfrey, which had been planned prior to her wedding. Prior to her wedding. Interesting. Wonder if that's how she got Oprah to come to her wedding. I'll do an interview with you. Meghan was now ready to shame her in-laws and assert her narrative against the Cambridges. To some, this was a reject's revenge against the royal family who plotted to deny her destiny. Those who smeared her reputation in London with lies about the pre-wedding arguments and her bullying were in her sights. "Life is about telling stories, right?" said Meghan. "Telling stories through a truthful lens." Over the previous weeks, Meghan's lines had been written, rewritten, and rehearsed. She knew precisely the moments she would hesitate, draw in her breath, touch a carefully poised strand of hair, portray her reluctance to deliver a withering condemnation of the royal family, and then, overcoming her hesitancy, bashfully recite her obligation to tell the truth. The interview lasted 3 hours and 20 minutes. Harry would be included after about 2 hours. During the shoot, Meghan disclosed that she was expecting a girl. She made no reference to Prince Philip nearing the end of his life. Oprah Winfrey thanked her guests. Hours later, the star announced her scoop. "The best interview I have ever done," declared Oprah Winfrey to the world. The recording would be edited for the worldwide broadcast on the 7th of March. Okay. Before I start the next paragraph, which is, "There was shock in Buckingham Palace." Let me take a look at the chat. All right. So we have Nadine and Michelle, Ashley. Mary's here. Hi, Mary. Some of her previous Saudi liaisons that Meghan said had a whorehouse. Sorry, Soho House. Oh, they like young, beautiful-looking women. Well, I don't know. I'm not saying it's true or not true. I'm saying I read a thumbnail. I didn't click on it. I was doing something else, and it just popped up in my feed. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Wouldn't put it past her, but I didn't have time to listen to a 20-minute video about it. Let's see. Meghan's long in the tooth. Shocker, he didn't care about someone else's feelings. Yes. On CBS, the only U.S. outlet to publish Princess Diana's death photos. Oh, did it really? I didn't even realize that, Michelle. Oh, that's interesting. Harry in short-term memory. Well, that might just be biological, too. He's not the smartest. Allegedly. Oprah interview was a lie fest done by Meghan. She had 17 provable lies. Wow, there were 17 provable lies? I knew somebody did a deep dive into it. 17, that's great. Way to go. Way to go, Meghan. Just because you say it doesn't mean it's true. Amazing to me that these narcissists can get on television, alleged narcissists, narcissist acting people, can get on television and say and really believe that people will just believe whatever comes out of their mouths. Like they think they're that important that nobody's going to fact check them and everyone's going to believe them. Like they think they're worshipped. It's amazing to me. All right, we're going to start with, there was shock in Buckingham Palace. The Sussexes' failure to tell the palace in advance was deemed to be an insult. Officials feared the worst. Edward Young could now understand Harry's recent haste to persuade the Queen and the couple to do commercial deals, yet remain working, impartial royals. Trust in Harry rapidly declined. Young recommended retaliation. The Queen decided that the Sussexes should rein their remaining royal patronages. Harry's last military titles and his patronage of the Rugby Football Union and Commonwealth Trust were stripped. Since he was born a prince, he kept that title. Meghan lost her patronage to the National Theatre and Association of Commonwealth Universities, yet she could also keep her royal title. All that remained was to negotiate an agreement statement. Fraught and unsuccessful, the palace unilaterally announced, quote, "In stepping away from the work of the royal family, it is not possible to continue with the responsibilities and duties that come with the life of public service." Instantly, the Sussexes snapped back, quote, "We can all live a life of service. Service is universal," end quote. The Sussexes repost, drafted by Meghan's advisors, appeared just as 99-year-old Prince Philip re-entered the hospital. Their timing is impeccable. The royal family was fighting on uncertain terrain. Amid the turbulent emotions, not least Prince Philip's inevitably imminent death, there was anger about the Sussexes' behavior. Someone decided to launch a preemptive retaliation. The popular suspect, without any evidence, was Prince William. Some would say that the information was delivered to the editor of the Times, while Valentine Lowe, the newspaper's royal expert, described his report as the product of several weeks of hard work. Either way, the result was striking. On the 3rd of March, the Times revealed that Jason Kanoff had reported allegations of Meghan's bullying to a senior official at Kensington Palace. The newspaper's unnamed source also claimed that Meghan's behavior had compelled 2 personal assistants to resign and a third, suffering a loss of self-confidence, to say, "I can't stop shaking." None of the 4 involved were identified. All claimed that they had been operating in a climate of fear, where employees were routinely humiliated by both Meghan and Harry in front of their peers and repeatedly subjected to unreasonable demands. One aide told the Times it felt more like an emotional cruelty and manipulation, which I guess could also be called bullying. Valentine, could I say this is literally only example of bullying? Like, it's used correctly here because it's so misused. Bullying is ongoing and pervasive, and it's abuse of someone's power to somebody who's lesser than. Like, this is the perfect example of bullying. It's ongoing, it's daily, it's oppressive, and it's a power. It's not a power struggle. It's an abuse of power to somebody who is not as strong or not as whatever, to a weaker person. It's like this is classic bullying. So when Meghan throws it out, like she feels like she's being bullied by the media or something like that, it's just like, drives me nuts. Just drives me nuts. All right. Let me jump over here to the chat really quick. Meg is here. Hi, Meg. Good to see you. Shanna Banana, good to see you. Yay! Hello. 2 lives today. Yes, there's another one at 10 coming up soon. It was a shock and awe campaign, and they won short term. Yeah, short term is right. Oprah removed her interview from YouTube. Yeah, I saw something recently where they did something together, and so I got really disappointed, but I don't know if it's true. It was just a report. It wasn't like, here are photos of them frolicking in the flowers together or anything like that. Hi, Scarlett. Good to see you, Jennifer. Long time no see. Yeah, so good to see you. Love ya. Oprah removed her interview with Meghan from YouTube because all the lies Meghan told during the interview made Oprah look like a fool. Well, that's what I was saying after it. After all these people were coming out and starting to say this was a lie and this was a lie and this was a lie, I'm like, Oprah was buying it hook, line, and sinker. And then she promoted it like this big sensational thing. So she looks foolish. She did. So it's interesting that she actually pulled it for that same reason. Catherine's had the same nanny for all her kids since day one. Meghan has had at least 4 while she was a working royal, which was like less than 2 years, right? Wasn't it like 18 months she was a working royal? Was she even that long? I don't know. That's crazy. The royals asked her to delay her interview with Oprah, and she said no. Who cares if grandpa's on his deathbed? Ugh. All right, start from the beginning, then you can hear it all. Yeah, Michelle, Sister Wives doesn't even start until 10 p.m. Usually on Sunday nights, I don't get to bed until about 2:30 in the morning because I do the review afterwards, but we'll see if I do it today because I like to get a 1-hour power nap on Sundays. Didn't happen today because I'm trying to finish editing this video to get out to you all, my reaction and my analysis of the last episode. And it's like in the final stages of just final proofing it. And I just need to, maybe I'll focus on that and get that up tonight and then do my review tomorrow or something. I don't know. Oprah had no follow-up questions, made her look unprepared. Yeah, she's probably out of practice too. She didn't do it anymore. It's no longer her gig. How long has this been going on? A hot minute, Jennifer, because this is chapter 37 of the book. So we've read that much. And we're going to finish this up because in March, the next book comes out. This is from a couple years ago. So we're finishing it up. It was 2022 it was published. So we're finishing it up so that by March we can read the next one together. I'm excited about that. I'm going to have to do a lot of talking in between on that one though, because that's more recent. So I feel like I got to really mind my P's and Q's in terms of staying within copyright standards. They care less with books that have been out for years. But any book that is currently in the New York Times bestseller, I mean, we just might not start it as soon as it comes out. We might have to wait a couple months. And then I think we might be better off. Once it gets off the New York Times bestselling list, then I think we're okay. All right, let me continue reading here. All right. But they're all posted. So Scarlett, Jennifer, you can go back and listen to all of them. They're all on the channel. Under live, you have to click on the live tab. Where did I leave off here? No, I didn't read that yet. No. All right, I think this is about where I am. If this sounds familiar, I apologize. All right, we're just going to go ahead and read this. The royal family was fighting an uncertain terrain amid the turbulent emotions, not least Prince Philip's inevitably imminent death. There was anger about the Sussexes' behavior. Someone decided to launch a preemptive retaliation. The popular suspect without any evidence was Prince William, yada, yada, yada. On the 3rd of March, the Times revealed that Jason Kanoff had reported allegations of Meghan's bullying to a senior official. Okay, so that's that paragraph about the bullying. That's about where I stopped because I'm like, this is classic bullying. Okay. Valentine Lowe wrote that he had been approached by, quote, sources who felt that only a partial version had emerged of Meghan's 2 years as a working member of the royal family, and they wished to tell their side. Traumatized and broken by the Sussexes' behavior, the officials objected to the palace's mismanagement of their complaints. To protect Meghan, the palace had refused to investigate the allegations. That's awful. All the men in gray suits who she hates have a lot to answer for because they did nothing to protect people. That's interesting. So like she's so upset with the palace, but yet the palace is not investigating these bullying allegations in order to protect her. Okay. Those concerned, reported Rebecca English later in the Daily Mail, are fed up with the sheer hypocrisy of it all. The suggestion that they, the Sussexes, were being bullied and forced out when others were experiencing that very treatment at their hands. Meghan's lawyers had 1 week's advance notice of the Times allegations. Buckingham Palace was asked for evidence, documents, texts, and emails of her bullying. In the end, the Sussexes' representatives would produce no legal grounds to prevent publication. Meghan's, this word repost keeps coming up, and I swear I don't know what it means, but he keeps using it. Meghan's repost had been prepared. Maybe it's a British legal term in terms of law and preparing paperwork or something. Let's just call this what it is, said Meghan. A calculated smear campaign based on misleading and harmful misinformation. Her lawyers lamented that the newspaper was, quote, used by Buckingham Palace to peddle a wholly false narrative. We are disappointed to see this defamatory portrayal of the Duchess of Sussex given credibility by a media outlet, end quote. The Duchess, the lawyers added, was, quote, saddened by this latest attack on her character, particularly as someone who has been the target of bullying herself and is deeply committed to supporting those who have experienced pain and trauma. Oh, can they just let the people speak? The Sussexes interpreted the newspaper report as yet another malicious attack by the palace on themselves. Victims! The innocent victims. Should have finished the sentence. Harry and Meghan had no doubt the leak was instigated by William to sabotage their big moment, a preemptive strike before their big interview. Since Jason Knopf had written the memorandum, either he or his superiors had leaked it to the Times. The Sussexes knew that the palace would not be given the right to reply or even invited to comment about their harmful allegations against the royal family to Oprah Winfrey. But that, in their opinion, was different. They were speaking the truth, and Knopf's memo was utterly false. Whatever their motive, the character assassination of the Sussexes misfired. Delivered without sufficient evidence, many readers sensed that the newspaper's source lacked conviction. The palace's caution suggested that Edward Young was fretting about whether the palace could accuse Meghan of bullying, yet protect Prince Andrew. Well, then get rid of that problem. They should go back and bring it back to the court. Belatedly, the palace hired a new firm of solicitors to investigate the bullying allegations, but hinted that only after an exhaustive process might the lawyers ask the Sussexes to answer the allegations. Sensing that weakness, Meghan's communication staff orchestrated a wave of sympathetic statements by her friends against the palace. The Duchess of Sussex, said John Cohen, a Suits scriptwriter, is a good person, thrust into an unimaginable world. Having spent 3 years working with her, I saw a warm, kind, caring person. End quote. No one, agreed Kristen Meiser, a friend and writer, could have been prepared for the level of racism and misogyny and vitriol that she faced. She, as Meisner describes herself, blamed the inbred, messed up, dysfunctional family who were up against a highly educated, self-made millionaire who knew how to do the PR game. Oh, them are fighting words. A lot of people think you were so lucky to get her and then you blew it. I mean, people did, I believe that, for a couple minutes at the beginning until, she started talking. U.S. television producer and author Lindsay Roth, a close friend of Meghan's for more than 2 decades, said that, quote, kindness Goodwill runs in her bones. Goodwill. Just rampant in this community. Patrick J. Adams, her Suits co-star, described the royal family as, quote, at worst, seemingly archaic and toxic. It's obscene that the royal family is promoting and amplifying accusations of bullying against a woman who herself was basically forced to flee the United Kingdom in order to protect her family and her own mental health, end quote. Good golly. Referring to the accusations of her bullying, Adams continued, the newest chapter and its timing is just another stunning example of the shamelessness of an institution that has outlived its relevance. It's way overdrawn on credibility and apparently bankrupt of decency. Find someone else to admonish, berate, and torment. My friend Meghan is way out of your league, end quote. Like, who cares what her friends are saying? Oh, gosh. All right, whatever. I mean, because she has no family. She's disowned all of them. So these are the friends she has left. Jessica Mulroney, who I do believe she's no longer friends with. Jessica Mulroney, famous for calling Meghan's critics racist bullies, but now herself canceled after being accused of racism by a Black blogger, said that Meghan treated her staff with kindness, empathy, and love. Meghan was also supported by Serena Williams, Katy Perry, and Orlando Bloom, friends and neighbors in Montecito, who, as friends of Oprah Winfrey, had all holidayed together on business magnate. Magnate is not a word I've ever seen before. A business guy's yacht. David Geffen, in case you want to know. In that circle, Meghan was in safe hands. Yet none of her defenders had directly accused the Palace Four of lying about the alleged bullying. And Meghan's lawyers did not issue a claim for defamation against the Times. In Canada, the Reitman's crew recognized the truth. Interesting. Okay, let me look to see. All right. Catch a little bit on the chat. We'll read a little bit more and then we're going to stop at 9:30. Yes, repost. I don't know that word. Is that a British word? I do not know that word. That is it, Lily. Hi, Lily, by the way. Let's see. Mary, I did not know that. She lied at a UK court and was forced to apologize to the court. What was the lie about? Was it about bullying? Was it about racism? Like, what were all the, because she has a couple allegations out there. Or was it about the, well, it seems like the court dismissed this first allegation, this first like letter thing. So it's probably not about that. The letter to her father that she was planning on having it leaked. Yeah, how many reports of bullying since she moved? 4 or 5? Yeah. Oh, she got caught sharing info with the media. Well, I believe that. She plants things everywhere. She's gotten rid of more than 10 nannies and 10 people. I saw somebody read a post that was out there for a nanny at one point, because it keeps getting reposted apparently. And when they read the description of what she wants you to do, she basically wants you to be Mary Poppins times 10. Like cook, clean, take them to school, do the shopping, be available to travel with them, be available on weekends and some evenings. And, it was just sort of like, dedicate, like she's royalty and they're going to dedicate their life of service to her. It's crazy. I'm like, and so when are you going to parent? And because it didn't seem like, and it was one of the nannies. It wasn't even, there were going to be 2 nannies. It was crazy. It's like, so, and what do you do? All right. Yes, be here every Sunday evening, 8:30 to 9:30. Yes. And then on Mondays at 1 o'clock, we do the Sister Wives talk on the other channel, on Senior Perspective. Oh, she said she never fed information to Omid Scobie, so he could write his book, and then found information that Meghan fed to. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yes. Um. Yeah, you're so nice, Jennifer. Oh, I don't know how I do all I do. When the mental breakdown happens, and all of a sudden there's no posting on any channel, because I'm in an insane asylum. That'll be the end of it all. I will say there's not going to be, that being said, there won't be one next Sunday because, well, maybe there, I don't think I'll make it home by 8 o'clock. I'll be driving home all day and I have to drop off my daughter on the way home because it's my other daughter's baby shower in Tennessee on Saturday. So we'll be driving back on Sunday. And I don't think I'm going to make it here by 8:30. It's going to be pushing it to make to watch Sister Wives live. But if for some reason I arrive home early, which never happens when you're traveling, but if it were to happen, I will throw a thumbnail up and I'll be here. So keep your eyes open and make sure you hit the bell on this channel because then you'll get notified. Jessica found out that her husband had an affair with her, but with Meghan Markle. Jessica's husband did? Okay, so when was that? Was it before she married Harry? And was it before? Well, it would have been after Jessica was married to him, huh? When they were just friends? Did they have an affair? She has a book in her. I'd be the nanny just for the trips. Yeah. Or you know what? There's a lot of really wealthy people that actually have a lot more money than her and great yachts and everything. Choose them. These guys are a nightmare. Get the trips with other people. I know somebody who nannied for, well, you guys might not know, in this area in like Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan area the main grocery store is called Giant Eagle and it's based out of Pennsylvania. And so I had a friend who nannied for like the head, it was the daughter of like the head guy of all the Giant Eagle stores. And so, yeah, she did travel. And, you know, they own grocery stores. Nobody knows who they are, but they got money. That's who you got to pick, not this nightmare. Oh, thank you so much, Espresso Dragon. I'm very excited. 2 months. It's 2 months away. Baby shower coming up this weekend. I get a grandchild for Pi Day, March 14th, 3.14. Pi Day. That's her due date for my grandson. I can say grandson now. I know it's a boy. Yes, there you go, Shannon. It's a boy. It's a boy. I don't know the name. I still have 3 that they're batting around with. He likes one, she likes the other one, and they both like the third one as their second choice. So I don't know. Maybe they'll end up going with the third one. Okay, let me read a little bit more because it's almost time to go. And then we will finish this chapter next week. Or not next week, in 2 weeks. I apologize. It's just a lot going on. And then the following week I can't do it. Good golly. I got a scrapbooking retreat for 4 days. I'm going to be out of town. Oh, no. I'll be home. I will be home by 8 o'clock Sunday night. I take it back. Just next week, I'll be probably not able to do it. Okay. Let me get a little bit more here. Okay. To promote Sunday's program, CBS broadcast a clip of Meghan on Friday, the 5th of March. Perfectly poised, Meghan sat in a Montecito garden, a wisp of hair hanging down to her cheek, an excellent prop for her to touch while confessing her anguish and anger. For the trailer, she disclosed that she had been banned by the palace from giving Oprah an interview in 2018. Now liberated, she was able to, quote, able to just make a choice of your own and be able to speak for yourself, end quote. I hate it when people talk about themselves, but they say yourself. That's one of my pet peeves. Or when they say one, like when one goes to a store, like when you go to a store, are you talking about yourself? Or are we talking hypothetically? It's really is a pet peeve of mine when people can't pinpoint. This ambiguous language, it just really bugs me. Ambiguous language. I mean, you all know that. Here, it's bugging me here again. Okay. But even speaking with honesty, the victim, Meghan, volunteered, quote, comes with the risk of losing things. I mean, there is a lot that has been lost already, end quote. Some viewers did not spot genuine sadness in her eyes. At CBS's headquarters in Los Angeles, there was excitement. Reduced to 85 minutes, CBS had pre-sold the interview around the world. Oprah Winfrey had hit a gold mine. ITV in London had paid about £1 million for the broadcast rights. Like CBS, ITV was demanding premium rates for advertisements. In the USA, CBS had sold prime spots to manufacturers of laboratory paper, which I guess is toilet paper. Laboratory paper sounds so much more elegant. Wrinkle remover and almond milk. On the eve of the broadcast, sometimes this guy's just too detailed. Like, okay, that's not necessary, but fine. On the eve of the broadcast, the Sussex's spokesman announced that their interview would be the, quote, last word about their rift with the royal family. Having, quote, needed to have their say, end quote, they now considered the matter closed and wanted to move on. That sentiment was grasped by Buckingham Palace's spokesman. On Sunday night, he predicted that the interview would be a quickly forgotten sideshow, lost in the mists of time. People, he believed, were more worried about COVID. The Queen was reportedly calm and believed in the long game. She was said to have considered it, quote, best not to react, end quote, to what would be, quote, their final word, end quote. Doing her duty, she, along with the royal family, would spend Monday celebrating virtually the annual Commonwealth service. Aptly, she had chosen to speak about friendship and unity. The Queen was amazing. She just was the epitome. I think Catherine is very similar to the Queen, but that's the outside looking in. I don't know a lot of the details, but she seems to have the same elegance and grace that the Queen has. You know, like when she passed away, I was just sort of like, wow, that's like the end of an era. Because I know that these new royals are trying to, you know, like kind of change the monarchy a little bit and make it more modernized, et cetera, et cetera. And I get that. I understand where they're coming from. But I feel like Catherine still has that royal elegance. And I don't know. I don't know if I can put it into words, but I feel like all's not lost. All right. One Big Life Fest. Yes. I am so glad. Well, Scarlett, you got a lot to catch up on because we are at 30. That was 37. Although the first couple live streams, a couple of live streams, we did 2 chapters together. But then we have some live streams where one chapter was divided in half because we're doing less time now. All right. Yeah. Harry said he had no regrets for dragging his family through the mud during this Oprah interview. It's just so sad, isn't it? Ugh, the worst. All right, I'm going to pull up this video file, everybody, and it might instantly start. So I'm going to say adios and goodbye, just in case it does, because I couldn't pull it up ahead of time. And usually when I pull it into the program, I don't know why I can't pull it in without it starting, but that's just the way it's set up. Desktop. No. Hold on. Documents. All right. Live stream. Here we go. Let's see if it just uploads it or if it starts it. This is my outro that I made for our revenge reading. Oh, I might have to do it twice. For some reason, the first time I do it, it never pops up right. Maybe. Oh no, I don't want to do that. Oh my goodness, I want to show this to you guys. They're not being nice to me. Live stream. Let me click here. There it is. Okay, let's give this a try.
You're like, Megan, one tear, left eye, go. Give me 3 seconds. Now make yourself cry. Oh, I can do that so well. Oh my God, it's crazy. You're like, Megan, one tear, left eye, go. Give me 3 seconds.
With a camera trained in front of her, crying. One tear, left eye, go.